name is Shalini Singh and welcome to Knowledge Masters. So this is part third of my previous discussion of sociology as a discipline. Okay, so in previous slide we discussed about how the sociology developed, how what was the background in Europe which forced to develop a subject which can study the society. So in the France, now we discuss who were the theorists in France who put the subject sociology in frame. So first we understand about Alexis de Tocqueville. This name was famous in France more as a political scientist rather than a sociologist, but he gave his views in Enlightenment. He was follower of Enlightenment thought and views given by Montesquieu this in his book The Spirit of Laws. So the Spirit of Laws book was Montesquieu book, and the Tocqueville favored this book, and he has strong influence regarding this book. So he says that as he was great supporter of freedom, but he was critics of equality. He criticized equality because as he himself was from higher class, so he says that if equality would be there in society, so who will check the government regarding the government work and regarding the centralization process of the government. So equality should not come in society, otherwise the government would not be checked by any of the higher class. And he says that socialism should not be in society. In the same way, democracy should also not be in society, as socialism, democracy and equality interlink to each other, so it will hamper the work of the government and the check on the government and regarding the centralization process of the government. So now the other sociologist come in France, that Saint Simon. Saint Simon believed in both the conservative and radical theory. He gave his views in both of the theories. So in conservative theory, he was follower of Comte, and in radical theory, he was follower of Marx. And he says that in conservative theory, to conserve the society past but not to return back Middle Ages. So he was not a complete follower of Bonald and Maistre, as Bonald and Maistre says that let's go back to Middle Ages because of the chaos in the present ages. So Saint Simon says that he believed in conservative thoughts, he believes some tradition, but he do not want to complete return back the society to the Middle Ages. And he was great follower of positivist theory of Durkheim, and he says that there should be some scientific techniques in order to study this natural science. There should be some scientific techniques in order to study the sociology as we study in the natural science, like generalization, experimentation, observation. We'll study later all these techniques. And he say in the radical side, he follows some reforms. He wanted some reforms in the economic system, but he says that he was not completely accepted the theories of Marx. He did not accepting the theories of Marx because Marx was extreme in his theory. He says that there should be complete fall down or replace of capitalist, but Saint Simon says that there should not be complete replacement of capitalist, but there should be some reformation in the labor and capitalist work. So now come to Comte. So Comte was the first who used the term sociology, and he also known as father of sociology. So he was influenced by the sociologist Herbert Spencer and Emile Durkheim. In his theory, positivism and positive philosophy, he talk about to combat the destructive philosophy of enlightenment given by Bonald and Maistre. So he criticized Bonald and Maistre very greatly, and he developed the social physics. In 1839, he named that social physics to sociology. First, he called his theory as social physics, but later he renamed that as sociology. So he that his work deals with both social statics and social dynamics. So that his works deal with both the statics, the strata of sociology in graphs and all. Then also the behavior of between the human beings and other part of the behavioral change and other dynamics of sociology. So he urged a evolutionary change. He says that the change should be slow and evolutionary, but not revolutionary, which brings chaos in society. So, in his evolutionary theory, he says that all society passes to from three stages. The first is theological stage. So, in France, like in India, uh, so he says that every part of the world, every country or every society of the world always passes to these three stages. The first stage is theological stage, which believe in supernatural powers and religious figures. For example, we can compare from India. Like we have learned that there were very super believe in supernatural powers and supernatural things in India, and we also still now also we pray the god a religious figure in form of some figurine. In the same way, in France also, in the past, the very past ages, past society, the people used to believe in supernatural power and religious figure. Now, the after that later, this another stage came, that metaphysical stage in society where people believe in abstract forces, like they believe in nature. They just not believe in figure. They do not pray the figure god, but they pray the nature in abstract form. Abstract means which we cannot touch but we can feel. Now the third stage came, positivist stage, where they believe that they believe in science, they believe in logical ideas, and they believe in some kind of reason. So they say that in positivistic stage, the people always believe in those things which have some logic and which can have some reason, based on some kind of reason. So he says that there should be some kind of scientific laws which can be full of some kind of some reasons which can people believe and rely on that. So these three stages which every society passes through. This was the Comte theory. Now he says that he believed in intellectual factors. He believed in intellect factors, and he believed in slow process of change in society. So he says that we should not focus on an individual of society, but we have to focus in whole society. So always study a very big figure, so that whole society can come in a particular study. We cannot study or we cannot give law for an individual, but we have to give law for a whole society, so that the law apply on every person of that society. And we cannot just separate the individual from society. Individual is also one part of society. There are other factors of society also. We have to study about other factors also. We have to research on other factors also. So he says that there should be scientific method used in study of society, like observation, experimentation, comparative method, and historical analysis. This all methods we will study in later part. So what is historical analysis? Like we compare two histories. We compare history with the present. So this is historical analysis. So Comte said that, but Comte always gave a good, Comte obviously gave a very good study, but he lacks one thing, that is academic base. Comte tells the other theorists that what to study, but he do not tells where to study. So this problem was solved by Emile Durkheim. Emile Durkheim gave a base where to study, and Emile Durkheim gave a big sorry. So Immanuel Durkheim studied about enlightenment, and Immanuel Durkheim also believe in that we should study in positivistic manner regarding society. And he says that we should study about the social disorder in the society. We cannot, like Marx said, problems are inherited in society. We cannot separate problems from society. But Durkheim says, no, we can separate, or we can solve the problems in the society. The problems are not inherited in the society because of some change, some revolutionary change. The problems comes in society. So we have to study about the social disorder, and we have to solve those problems. We cannot run away from the problems of the society. Durkheim, in his book Rules of Sociological Method, he did study regarding social facts. So he studied about the social facts. So he divided social facts in two parts, that is material and non-material. So his basic focus on non-material social facts. So what are the material social facts? The material social facts comes bureaucracy, political laws, and the non-material and social institutions, culture, which is related to society directly. So his main agenda is to study about the non-material social fact. So he study about society, he study about the division of labor. So all these are non-material social facts. And in his, I cannot give overview. We will study about Durkheim separately, but this is an overview of his study. So in his society, in his theory society, he says that individual behavior, suicide is an individual behavior, and in case of study about the individual behavior or suicide, we have to understand the difference, the different part of social facts which lets people to suicide. Like for example, like in case of war, we have to understand what are the social factors which leads to the suicide of army men. Like in agriculture area, we have to understand what are the social factors which led to suicide of farmers in that particular area. So we have to understand the social factors which led to people's suicide. So he differentiate the rate, we can he basically make understand about the social facts. And he says that when we once understand about social facts, we can bring the rate of suicide down. So this all is about him. So there is one book, Division of Labor, where they discuss about the labors and the problems of the labors. So he says that modern society lacks a common morality and collective conscience, because the modern society becomes so much complex that they unable to deal with all those problems. And in order to execute a better society, we have to strengthen the moral values and bring some change in the problems, bring some change in society by strengthening the moral values. And we have to execute some collective conscience and moral values which were used in the primitive society, and we have to execute in the present society. Now in his book Religion, he this is also religion is also one kind of non-material social fact. So his book The Elementary Form of Social Fact, Durkheim examined the primitive society, and he says that in order to understand the religion of a particular society, we have to understand the primitive society, the society in the past. And we cannot separate the religion from society because they both are interlinked to each other. and and the totemism, used the word totemism. He says that the totemism, like plant and animals, are the figures of the god which are prayed by the people. And this also the factors of the religion, and religion is a non-material social fact. And he argues that the society and religion are the same. We cannot separate both of them. So here, this is the overview, all of them, all of the theorists. And this is end here. Not end here, there again, we will study about the German sociology, and Germany sociology will that video will come later. So till then, thank you. Subscribe, like, and share. Bye.